Hello everyone, welcome to GT Boxing. There are fights that become turning points in the careers of great champions. Those nights when a rising star could have been extinguished, when a single punch could have changed the history of boxing. For Saul Canelo Alvarez, that moment came on May 1st, 2010, in Las Vegas. The young Mexican stepped into the ring against the seasoned and fearless José Miguel Cotto, the brother of the legendary Miguel Cotto. And in this fight, for the first time in his career, Alvarez found himself on the verge of disaster. His legs buckled, he was forced to retreat, and the crowd gasped. Just a few more punches, and Mexico's brightest prospect could have been knocked out. That's the story we'll revisit in today's video. Before we begin, I kindly ask you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Thank you. Now, let's get started. At the time, Canelo was only 19 years old. He was considered the #1 prospect in Mexican boxing, the Golden Boy, with enormous expectations placed on his shoulders. He already had an impressive record, 31 wins with no losses, and was blazing through opponents one after another. Alvarez possessed sharp technique, explosive combination punching, and power well beyond his years. He was spoken of as a future superstar. But despite his hype, he was still very young, with little experience against elite opposition. Many experts questioned whether he could handle the pressure once he was truly tested. José Miguel Cotto was a completely different story. The older brother of Miguel Cotto never reached the same heights as his world champion sibling, but inside the ring, he was a dangerous fighter. His career had been turbulent. He faced tough opponents, gained valuable experience, and earned a reputation for his aggressive style. Before meeting Canelo, he had already fought notable names like Ricky Hatton and Juan Arango. Though he often came up short against top competition, his biggest strengths were grit, courage, and the ability to fire back with conviction. Facing Alvarez was not just another fight for him. It was a chance to shock the boxing world by derailing the rise of a young star destined for a world title. The opening rounds shocked everyone who expected an easy night for Canelo. Right from the start, José Miguel pressed forward, showing he had no intention of being a stepping stone. Then, in one of the early exchanges, the unthinkable happened. Cotto landed a powerful shot that rocked the young Mexican. Canelo staggered back, his legs unsteady, and for a split second there was panic in his eyes. The crowd held its breath. Was the Golden Boy about to fall so early? For a brief moment, the entire trajectory of Alvarez's career seemed to hang by a thread. It was arguably the most dangerous moment of his life in the ring. Had Cotto followed up with a few more clean punches, the boxing world might have witnessed a stunning upset, Canelo's first defeat before his career had even begun to blossom. But this is exactly where championship character is revealed. Alvarez dug deep, steadied himself, and began to adjust. He fought with more caution, tightened his defense, and leaned on his advantages in speed and precision. Slowly, the momentum shifted. Canelo grew patient, waited for openings, and looked for sharp counterattacks. By the time the danger had passed, it was clear. The young Mexican was learning in real time, evolving from a prospect into a complete fighter. As the rounds wore on, Alvarez's pressure increased. His punches began landing more frequently. His combinations became more varied, and Cotto's energy gradually drained. What started as a brave, aggressive challenge from the Puerto Rican turned into a desperate effort to survive. Canelo sensed the shift, raised the pace, and refused to let his opponent recover. Eventually, the breakthrough came. Alvarez unleashed a flurry of accurate, punishing shots that overwhelmed Cotto. The referee stepped in, and Alvarez scored an emphatic victory by technical knockout. Yet for those who watched live, the most memorable part wasn't the ending. It was the scare in the early rounds when Canelo stood on the edge of disaster. That moment was his baptism by fire, a trial that many young prospects fail. But Alvarez showed the essential quality of a true champion. Not just the ability to win, but the resilience to survive the toughest situations. For Canelo, this was an invaluable lesson. He experienced firsthand what it meant to be seconds away from losing everything. He realized that no fight can be taken lightly, even against opponents who aren't world champions. From that night forward, he became a smarter, more disciplined fighter. His style matured. He was no longer just chasing victories, but calculating, controlling fights, and minimizing risks. For Jose Miguel Cotto, the fight was likely his last great opportunity to make a statement. He showed his toughness and proved he could trouble even a future superstar. But youth, talent, and determination were ultimately too much for him to overcome. Looking back, this fight can be seen as the pivotal moment where Canelo could have lost it all. But instead, he was forged by fire and pushed forward. After that night, his path toward the world stage looked inevitable. Yes, more challenges awaited him, with both victories and setbacks. But it was against Jose Miguel Cotto that Alvarez first proved he had what it takes: composure, endurance, and an unbreakable will to win. Today, in retrospect, it's fair to say that if not for that night in May 2010, we might not have seen the Canelo Alvarez we know today. It was here that he stepped out of youth and into manhood as a fighter. It was here that he showed he could weather the storm and emerge stronger. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next exclusive stories. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.